This is your new favorite internet radio, Power 108.9.
You want to answer that, don't you? I bet it's just killing you seeing the soft glow just inches away. Someone wants to tell you something or ask you something. Oh, come on, answer it already! Just so we're clear, that wasn't my fault. Next time, ignore your inner voice. Don't text and drive.
Stay up on what's happening here at Power. We've got new shows, new guests, and new events that help us connect with the community. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Power 108.9. You can also go to power1089.com to get all of the updated news and happenings here at Power. Thanks for listening.
Hey, y'all, Kwame holding it down by himself today. Don't give him a hard time. Turn your phones off, Kwame. You beeping over there.
If you're a content creator, social media socialite, influencer, or simply love to record current events, you need the joystick. The joystick is an essential tool for every type of digital content creator. It holds 2 or more mobile phones or tablets, allowing users to stream and record hands-free on multiple apps simultaneously, and it's weight and portable. For more information or to purchase your joystick today, visit our website at www.joystick.com.
Good morning, everyone. This is Kenneth Kwame Welch on the Vanguard program, radio program on Power 108.9, bringing you up-to-date, real information. Today we have a special program. I'm here by myself. Our co-hosts are on vacation, enjoying themselves. Kathy Malik, what are you guys up to? Today we'll have a special program, and it's going to be basically a gigantic advertisement for my business, which is Atlanta Segment Productions. People who knew that the program was coming on asked me what are the major topics, and just answering them. This is what the program's about today. Okay, how's everyone doing? And please, those of you who said that you were going to call in or write in, please do so. We're on either the Vanguard radio program on Facebook, so it's Vanguard on Power 108.9, or you can go straight to the website Power 108.9 or the Facebook page Power 108.9. You can also add comments later on for me to get back to you on Atlanta Segment Productions LLC, Atlanta Segment Publications, ASP TV, and elsewhere on the net. Trust me, we do get back to you as quickly as possible. Okay, without further ado, I'm getting a lot of messages here on WhatsApp. I guess those questions will just have to wait. Everyone's all anxious to see what we're going to talk about today. The 3 major pieces of today's show is the structure. It's about the structure of Atlanta Segment Productions. First of all, those of you who know me personally, I moved here from Los Angeles. I came here with the dream of starting a film production company, and I was able to do so with the help of 3 neighbors, believe it or not. We met in the coffee shop. I won't mention which one right now. You can have to go in my bio and see that information. But anyway, we met at the coffee shop, and we were able to talk to lawyers, CPAs, actors, writers, everybody right from that coffee shop. So anyway, one of the things that we decided to do was film and TV shows. At first, it was just a TV. At first it was just movies. We were just going to be doing movies. Then we decided to start doing TV stuff. So the major topics for today's show is the basic 3 structures of the company. Number 1 is the film and movie business. It's really hot here, and people are really being attracted to the company. Atlanta Segment Production, we just call it ASP for short. First of all, these movie ideas were things that I had in mind from years back. Also, some of these newer movie ideas came about from ASP team members that suggested things, and we sat down and we worked out and worked on scripts and structure and so forth. 2, we'll be doing movies from some personal or family stories, biographical, interesting, and in some cases unusual stories, very unusual. If you want to know about these unusual stories, just go onto Facebook. We have all of our projects, or at least 95% of our projects, are listed on Facebook with detailed information about what the movie is about. I will mention one story. It's about deadheads. For those of you who know about the Grateful Dead, this is a Grateful Dead related story that was actually in the news at one time. So for those of you who are into rock, this story is for you. You'll be able to appreciate it. And thirdly, we have some movies that are coming from book and comic book authors. We have permission from about 3 authors right now to do do movies from their books. One of them is a historical piece. One is a sci-fi piece, and one is more of a biographical piece. Then we also will be delving into we have one comic book, sci-fi, that we'll be doing as a movie, a full-length feature film. And thirdly, the next phase of Atlanta Segment Production is ASP TV. You'll hear Malik talk about that all the time. Well, ASP TV is our television arm, our subsidiary that handles basically what I call irregular TV. This is stuff that you won't see on regular TV. We talk about real world news, things that the mass media or the main media pushes to the side, or should say mainstream. So we have some interesting news that we either talk about, retweet, or post on our Facebook pages. Instagram, we're all over. At the end of the program, I'll give you all of those connections. So look out for real news. I would like to say that our Twitter page for ASP TV is actually taking off because people are really interested in some of the topics that we're posting, including health and medicine, travel, which we had our Vanguard program last week, was about travel and culture. We're also interested in senior issues, ageism, etc. Next, we have some TV projects that are actually former movie projects. We decided to rescale them and resize them down to episodic programs on TV. So those we'll mention, or you can call in and ask if you want to come and join our company. We actually have a couple of sites on Facebook, recruiting sites. One's called You Want to Work for Atlanta Segment Productions, and the other one is called You Want to Work for ASP TV. So you can send your resume through those sites. Okay, we will be taking a break, and we'll be coming back to the Vanguard on Power 108.9.
Questions to answer when you come back. Have you visited Tyler Perry's studio yet? And how is the gang movie you're developing on New York legacy of the New York gang culture? Talk about that when we come back. Mm-hmm. And then, yeah, those are two you can talk about when we come back. Somebody struck a nerve.
I knew that was going to come.
Slide your phone over to your right, son.
Yes.
Keep going. Mm-hmm. There you go.
People always say, what is your best side? Last week's program, the guests were here and I was here, and man, they were so exciting. I was like literally fully turned, and engrossed in the conversation, because they were like naturals. They were like, they were just so into the program, Even Eddie got involved, Eddie was, yeah. But it was like something that's been on his mind, and yeah. Yes. And then when he said 25, I think we all went, like that. Welcome back to the Vanguard program on Power 108.9. I want to give a shout out to the mayor of the Battery. It's right here. Michael, how's your day going?
So far, so good.
Yes.
Got that extra hour sleep.
Yes. That's what you said.
I think we need
It was one less for me.
I think we need to just stop daylight saving time.
Yes.
And just FYI to all the listeners out there, there's no S on saving. It's daylight saving time.
Yes.
Savings is what you put in the bank.
Yeah, exactly. Well, while we're away, we got a couple of questions. Question number one: have you visited Tyler Perry Studios? The answer is no. I haven't been on the property, but I have been around the property. I was there when I saw them actually doing construction for the sound sets. I actually lived outside of the base for several years now. But I do have to say that I have been in contact with Mr. Perry, Tyler, likes to be called Tyler, for years. As a matter of fact, I was one of the first people when he started his mailing list. I think maybe like the late 90s or the early 2000s, if I'm not mistaken. And also, I have met him twice here in Atlanta at different functions.
Kwame, can you just talk about how big of a deal that really is for people that may not be Tyler Perry fans?
Yes.
But what he's done from a movie perspective,
Yes.
and what he's what he's created at Fort Mac. Can you talk about that?
First of all, Tyler was able to purchase to the sum of what, $35 million, but 330 acres of land, and he made a joke of comparing that to the 40 acres and the mule that some of the slaves got after the Civil War. But 330 acres is no small piece. That's actually 75% of an army base. I had a dad that was in the military, and I used to visit the base from time to time. And that's no small thing, okay? The other 25%, by the way, is actually being managed by a group called MILRA, and it's actually for and by the citizens of Atlanta. So those of you go to your mayors and your city council people and tell them that you want a piece of the action, okay? You want to sit in and help build especially the Oakland City area of Atlanta. Little shout out to my neighbors. Also, he has 12 sound stages there. He has whole neighborhoods built. So when you're driving through these neighborhoods, you actually think that you're in either the ghetto or the richest neighborhood in the world, you know. He has an army base with endless barracks, firing ranges, storage unit. It just goes on and on. Everything that you could think that was on an army base is still there, basically. So he won't have to use cottages or, you know, the general's houses because it's right there. They're just right there, right, you know. Someone said that this base, this studio is larger than anything that we have in Los Angeles, Hollywood. So you can imagine this, when they say Atlanta is the East Coast Hollywood, it really has. Not only has Tyler put us on the map, but also other large studios from other parts of the United States and Europe have actually moved here.
And can you talk about the difference, like for a while, when Hollywood came to Atlanta, they were shooting scenes in Georgia.
Yes.
Not actually shooting the movies. Like
Yes.
some of the movies were still shot in LA because they needed the studio.
Yes.
They shot scenes here, so you'll see a scene on Peachtree Street, or you go to Marietta Square and they shoot a scene there. But now what Tyler Perry has created, this is the same things that they have out in LA, ain't it?
Yes, exactly. But I have to say that Tyler is not the first major black producer here. There are others. There are other producers at Screen Gems and Rainforest and all those. So when you go see the movie, and I encourage you to go see Harriet, which just came out yesterday, Harriet Tubman movie. I'm actually making a Harriet Tubman TV episode also for ASPC TV. So you go see this one, and then you'll be able to compare my little project with this. But anyway, so he has put us on the map. Everyone's looking at Atlanta now, even though they didn't pay attention to us. And like Michael said, these things are actually being filmed here in these studios. What we need to do, and you don't want to get me on my film bandstand here, is what we need to do. We need to protect our indigenous and our local filmmakers and basically stop people from coming here to Lantawood, as one of my friends calls it, and spoiling what we have here. We have people, when some of these outside movie studios come here, they are just coming here and bringing all these people here and not using, I say it again, not using our local talent. We have plenty of actors and actresses here. We have plenty of people that have been trained to be production assistant and other crew members. So to that, I say I've created a statewide association called GECOFIP, which is Georgia Georgia Collaborating Film People. So we just call it GECOFIP for short. So you can go on Facebook and see more about this GECOFIP organization. Anyone that's involved in film and TV production can get involved. And what was that second question again?
A movie you're working on, Gang?
Oh, yes. Right now, the working title is a 1970s NYC gangs. And the movie is basically about, it's a docudrama that I started filming in 2014. So it's been a long haul. We have a lot of stop and goes, and it's kind of helped grow the business, because when people hear that I'm actually doing this gang movie, they've gotten excited about my company as a whole. So anyway, the movie is a historical take on how the youth of New York City actually changed the history of New York. And New York was going down the drain in the 60s, mid 60s. No matter which mayor they put in, no matter how they changed the city council, the borough presidents, nothing changed until finally one day the gangs, the street armies, crews as we used to call ourselves, decided to take things into our own hands. And that's what is supposed to happen. That's what we call progress. The youth decided in 1970 as a whole to go after the drug dealers. And they would give them a warning, and they got all these ideas from the mafia. But they decided to go after the drug dealers because to them, drugs was the main problem affecting the people and their neighbors and family members around them. So that's what the movie is about. It's about how these youths and groups like the Black Spades and the Ghetto Brothers and the Peacemakers, shout out to all these brothers and sisters that are actually, the ones that are still here are actually helping me put this movie together. And I'll mention names in another production, but we have people. I want to mention one of my rivals, the Pole Park Boys, and that came up in a discussion last night. So one of these days I'll have one of my old rivals here on the program with me. Then there were other groups from Brooklyn and Queens and Staten Island, the Scavengers, Seven Immortals, Seven Crowns, and it goes on and on and on. From our research, we've found out that at one point around 1975, 10% of the population were gang members. 10%. That means one out of every 10 people you pass on the street was wearing some kind of colors or jackets. 1 out of 10. Incredible. But these kids, these youths decided after a while that they weren't just, society decided that they weren't just criminals and started inviting them to city hall, city council meetings, and then you'll see some of that in the movie. This is not a documentary per se, it's a docudrama. Everything is recreated. We have live actors and actresses acting this out in place of the real people. And as something interesting, as I was making these movies, some of the actual eyewitnesses, people have become consultants to my movie. So it's very interesting what's going on with that. Any other questions? Yeah, we're going to take a short break right now, And we'll be back with the Vanguard on Power 108.9.
This is your new favorite internet radio, Power 108.9.
You want to answer that, don't you? I bet it's just killing you seeing the soft
You saw
glow
me
just
earlier.
inches away.
I was going to think about
Someone
getting
wants to
breakfast. I
tell
said,
you
know,
something
get it. I'll just
or
wait till
ask you
lunch.
something. Oh, come on. Answer it already.
Finding breakfast around here.
Just so we're clear, that wasn't my fault. Next time,
Okay.
ignore your inner voice. Don't text and drive.
Stay up on what's happening here at Power. We've got new shows, new guests, and new events that help us connect with the community. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Power 108.9. You can also go to power1089.com to get
YouTube
all of
link?
the updated news and happenings
sure
here at Power.
mention that.
Thanks for listening.
Welcome back to the Vanguard on Power 108.9. This is Kenneth Kwame Welch of Atlanta Segment Productions, CEO, founder, me, myself, and I. And today we're discussing ASP and its various subsidiaries and projects we're working on. One of the questions that just came in through WhatsApp is, do we have a YouTube link? Yes, we are so easy to find on the internet. All of our projects and subsidiaries are Googleable. I've actually seen that word. You're able to search on Google. So you can find us on YouTube. Just go to ASP TV. Just search for those letters, AS, or the abbreviation ASP TV, and you can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram, and of course Twitter. On Twitter, our Twitter account is at InfoSeeker560. That's INFOSEEKER 560. Also, as I said, our ASP TV Twitter account is taking off. Fantastic questions, fantastic people are connecting with us, professors and mayors, and it's incredible that what we started off as just like a little coffee shop, organization, and we've just grown, by leaps and bounds. And that's another thing that I want to mention before I go into our third segment, is that from the three people, which I would like to say the three people that helped me start up this company back in summer of 2013, they were all artists, dancers, actresses, singers, you name it. They were just multi-talented. One of them was a hairdresser also. So you have people, and I want to say this. For a long time, I never thought of myself as an artist. And people would say, well, you're creating things. And so finally, about 3 years ago, I have to say to myself, I'm an artist. I've done a little bit of acting before and some location scouting, But then I realized that in order for you to be a producer, director, you have to be some kind of an artist, at least an organizational artist. And that I am. I'm very organized. So yes, you can find us online. And as I said, I want to apologize to those people that sent in job-related items, and I didn't get back to them in time because Facebook, I'm going to blame it on Facebook, they don't notify you. They'll notify you about some foolishness in some cases, but when it comes to things like people contacting you about resume and job things, they're not good at that. Sometimes the insights and the notifications are just missing out, and I'll see things 2-3 weeks later, sometimes even a month after the fact. But I just want to say that the public apology to those of you who have contacted me about jobs. We do have 2 groups on Facebook. One to work for Atlanta Segment Productions and one to work for ASP TV. We are looking for production assistants. We actually have an internship program here in Atlanta. We're getting ready to start that in New York City, and I'll talk about my travels in a little while. We're looking for research associates, library associates, people that are going to help with the beginnings of our library for our studio. People that will help with researching these biographical and scientific topics that we're doing for ASP TV, and a few other jobs. Of course, we're also looking for anyone that's also talented when it comes to crew members, videographers, audio engineers, all of the above. We're looking for those kinds of people.
Question for you.
Yes, sir.
Tupac and Biggie, seems like they get movies every year in Hollywood or Atlanta or just in the industry. Well, I know movies about folks like Paul Robeson and Sadi Shakur, stuff like that.
Yes. I'm so glad that someone asked that question because one of the major projects that we're working on at ASP TV, Atlanta Segment Production, is called Black Legends. It actually started out as Black Female Legends on Yahoo Groups back 20 years ago or so. And I noticed that black actresses were dying and passing away, and they would get maybe like 2 days coverage in the newspapers at most. Well, you have Robin Williams and some of these other people that have died 3-4 years ago, and they're being mentioned almost weekly in the media. What's up with that? So I decided to start up a group where we would discuss these black female legends. After a while, people started saying, well, what about the guys? So we started the Black Male Legends, and recently those 2 projects got merged into a new project called just simply Black Legends. So we were going to have episodic TV programs on different things. I had mentioned the Harriet story earlier. We're going to have Paul Robeson. By the way, if you're a writer, we need you badly right now because we need people to at least put together these biographical synopses of these legends. For those of you who are into music, we actually have a TV project called The Jazz Greats. And so we have something for everyone. We have a movie project, a TV movie project called Fairy Tale Land. And it starts off with a story about a little boy that's ignored by his parents, neglecting, we're going to have those kind of issues in the movie. And finally, while he's playing in the grass in his front yard, he meets these little people. And so with that, we also have our new division that we've just started recently called Atlanta Segment publications, or people that like to simply call it ASP Comics. So you can go online and hashtag ASP Comics or ASP Comics Atlanta, ATL, sorry. And we also have our Twitter for that. It's just simply at Comics Atlanta. Twitter gave me that name. Can't get any simpler than that. So you'll find out stuff about our different projects. We're getting ready to do Patreon, Indiegogo, Kickstarter, GoFundMe projects for these comic book related things that we're doing for ASP publications. So we have 4 projects already posted online, so you can go onto Instagram and Facebook and check those projects out. Those comic book projects. We have about 3 more coming out in the next couple of weeks. And so we're pretty busy. I meet with my staff here, at least one person per day, because we're not the regular studio. We do everything irregularly. But my company has been growing in the fact that we now have a team besides Atlanta. We have a team in New York City, Ohio, Chicago, Los Angeles, and in Jamaica, which is my homeland where I'm from. I've been able to recruit a whole bunch of relatives and old co-workers and friends and neighbors, just a polyglot of people that I've been in contact with over the years that want to help me live my dream. And so that's the exciting part about it, that we have people constantly coming on board to help us, and one of the things that I want to say it publicly, I'm being humble when I say this. People tell me all the time, you're the next Tyler Perry. And I had to admit it. I'm actually literally physically walking in the footsteps of Tyler Perry. I'm actually doing everything that he did, not realizing that he actually did it. So anyway, look for us. And also remember, GeckoFip is this Georgia association that I've started. Anyone that's involved in film can become part of GeckoFip. It's real easy to join. Just go on Facebook, join the group. Georgia Collaborating Film People. Any other questions out there in Radio Land? And we'll be taking another break here at the Vanguard on Power 108.9. See you back in a few.
This is your new favorite internet radio, Power 108.9.
You want to answer that, don't you? I bet it's just killing you seeing the soft glow just inches away. Someone wants to tell you something or ask you something. Oh, come on, answer it already. Just so we're clear, that wasn't my fault. Next time, ignore your inner voice. Don't text and drive.
Stay up on what's happening here at Power. We've got new shows, new guests, and new events that help us connect with the community. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Power 108.9.
Yeah, of course.
You can also go to power1089.com to get all of the updated news and happenings here at Power. Thanks for listening.
If you're a content creator, social media socialite, influencer, or simply love to record current events, you need the joystick. The joystick is an essential tool for every type of digital content creator. It holds 2 or more mobile phones or tablets, allowing users to stream and record hands-free on multiple apps simultaneously. And it's lightweight and portable. For more information or to purchase your joystick today, visit our website at www.joystick.com.
Welcome back. It's still morning here in Atlanta. I wanted to give a shout out and mention specifically that besides the teams that ASP has, we also have dedicated, diligent, loyal supporters that have been with us from the very beginning that don't live here in Atlanta, New York, or LA, but they're what I call my film agents that I've recruited, or in some cases they've recruited themselves. And so we have an agent in Rio de Janeiro. I want to give a shout out to Beatrice. She's on WhatsApp right now, and she's been dedicated and one of my first agents that I recruited for ASP. Also, we have another long-time one, Lolly, in Paris. If you're listening to me, bonjour. And we have agents in Toronto, Canada, Washington, D.C. These are individuals. We have a few scattered ASP people in Texas, specifically Joseph, Joe, and Lizette. And we also have agents scattered. We have one in Malaysia, one in Australia for the Pacific Southwest Pacific area. And of course, Africa. We have 4 agents in Africa. One thing I want to mention publicly, and because I'm a new filmmaker, everybody wants to tap into my resources, and that's a good thing. I recently was contacted by an old friend in India. She's doing a film, and she wants to. She wants me to collaborate with her, and we've decided we're going to do it. And this is not the first time I've been contacted from India, but hopefully in the next couple of months or so, I will be heading there to the subcontinent of Asia. One of the things that's really near and dear to my heart right now is this comic book thing. I've always been a comic book collector, and people always see me with comics and they think that some of those comics are actually my productions. I said, no, I'm reading this, but I'm at the point right now where we've decided that we, as ASP, we will be doing our own comic books, and they actually fall into 3 categories. ASP comics come from, well, let's put it this way. The first piece of the comic books are movies. We will have accompanying comic books to some of our movie projects. One of them that was mentioned was the 70s gang movie. We're going to have a comic book for that. Different incidents from the movie are going to be depicted in these comic books for that 1970s New York City series. Then we're doing a movie called, I think I want to do it as a TV movie called Blackula 2000, where the first black vampire gets resurrected in our time, and he sees people walking around with cell phones. He sees yellow Maseratis, and orange Porsches, and he's just like completely mind-boggled, befuddled, and he's stopping people and asking them questions, and everybody's looking at him like he's from Hollywood because he's still wearing his cape. Anyway, so we recently recruited Blackula here in Atlanta. He's new to Atlanta, an actor. I have to say one thing. This is so interesting. Blackula is a horror comedy or a comedy horror. So it's not just going to scare you, but it's also going to make you laugh, mostly laugh. Okay? So look for Blackula 2000. You can find pieces, and if you want to join the project, we have it on my LinkedIn site. You can find me on my personal pages, Kenneth Kwame, and Kwame spelled Kwame. Last name is Welsh, Welsh. So you can find me there at LinkedIn and on Facebook, and you can find the projects connected to my name as well. Another thing about the comics is that most of them are going to come from mostly ASP TV programs. So we're going to have accompanying programs similar to what you have on TV, like with The Walking Dead. Increasingly, The Walking Dead is actually drawing from comic books, some of their comic book stories. And I think some of those programs are even more interesting than the stuff done for TV. Also, Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which is now doing the same thing. Instead of them just doing it as a TV production, they're drawing more and more from the comic books. And I think that makes things even more interesting. Last but not least is, and I want to get back to the movie ones. When you go online and you see what we're doing, you're going to want to join us as well. I'm not just saying that out of pride or anything like that, but these things are so interesting. Some of these projects are ideas that I had from when I was a child, and they've just built up in my mind and on paper over the years to the point where we actually have production. Some of these are in development, some are in pre-production, but we're moving, we're progressing slowly but surely. And as I said, if you have any comments and questions, suggestions, I've just given you quite a few places that you can contact us. One of our phone numbers, if you want to text me, I'm available. I'm going to do it. 404-721-9941 is one of our official phone lines where you can contact us, ask questions. 404-721-9941. ASP TV, Atlanta Segment Productions, and Atlanta Segment Publications. Any other questions out there? Yeah, we're going to take another break, and we'll be coming back to the Vanguard on Power 108.9. We have somebody that was looking in earlier. Yeah. I guess they were just interested. Hey, it's me, Kenneth Kwame Welsh. I'm back here on the Vanguard program on Power 108.9. I wanted to talk a little bit more about our connections. You can find us on Instagram at Atlanta _segment_ productions. That's our main business page. You can find me on Instagram at Kwame, KWAME _INFO 318. That's Kwame _info 318. And the comic book Instagram is at Atlanta.segment.publications. And as I said, we love using hashtags all over the place. So you can find us ASPTV, hashtag ASPTV, hashtag ASP Comics Atlanta. Someone suggested that would be a better way to find us, because there is another company that uses the ASP Comics hashtag. Also, for those who want to reach out on Facebook, we have the two pages. Want to work for Atlanta Segment Productions and want to work for ASP TV. Those are really interesting ways to contact me. And of course, always LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a place that has about a dozen of our projects underneath my resume. So you can go there and you can actually attach yourself or link yourself to a specific project that you want to be part of. At this point in the program, I want to mention that one of the things that I myself decided to do, one of the main focus for Atlanta Segment Productions would be historical, biographical, and genealogical type programming, because I feel that people without history is like a tree without roots, and that's a quote or paraphrase from Marcus Mosiah Garvey. And I think we all need some kind of rooting. We all need to be attached to something. And in order for us to be attached to something, we have to be watered as well, you know. And regular watering would be come to ASP TV and production pages and contribute, you know. As a matter of fact, one of the things I encourage, it's not really done around here, but I encourage it. While we're filming around town, we announce filming and we encourage people to come out. Even if you don't come out as an extra, you can come out and observe our filming, especially when we're doing stuff in the cemeteries and the parks. It kind of acts kind of like a little spooky thing to it. So, but I love it when people come out and ask questions at the film sites. And for those of you who you know who you are here in Atlanta that are supporting me and have supported me for a long time, thank you so much. That goes for my senior writer, my director of photography, my director of production assistants, all of you, you know, my director, Theodore, where are you? and the various videographers that have worked with me since 2014. You guys are just absolutely fantastic. So, as I said, ASP Atlanta Segment Productions, we're doing a lot, and we could do a lot more with more of your help. And that's it for now. That's it for our program. If you have any other questions, contact me through all of these various means and measures. And have a wonderful day, whatever you do today. Be safe here in Atlanta. It's still Halloween. People are still dressing up in masks. So just watch out for spooky people. Drive safe on the freeways. This is Kenneth Kwame Welch on the Vanguard on Power 108.9.